Hi, this is Dr. Danto. I am talking to you now from the Hill Spinal Decompression Table at Danto Osteopathic. It's our latest acquisition. Some people would say, hey, why, when you're opening up an office, do you go out and buy, before you really have any patients established, a very fancy spinal decompression table? And the answer is it's the right thing to do. About 15 years ago, I was a patient, and it helped me to the point where I knew that this was the right thing to do for my patients. So we have it in our practice, and we're hoping that it'll help you too.
Unlike the rest of the body, the discs are pretty unique in that they are what we used to describe them as a jelly donut. But the truth is they're not really a jelly donut. They're actually like a Cinnabon because there's multiple layers to the disc with like a jelly nucleus inside. The cells within the disc function in essentially a acidic environment, and they're working on anaerobic metabolism. And by the time as we get older, it becomes more acidic, and when it becomes too acidic, we start to see the disc become inactive, and the cells, only about 25% of the cells in the disc, 20 to 25% of the cells in the disc are metabolically active by the time we get into our late 20s. So with spinal decompression, we pump nutrition back into the disc, which changes it more to an alkaline environment or closer to alkaline. And this creates an environment in which the disc cells are able to come back alive and start healing the disc because they're metabolically active again. At the joint level, there's joints in the spine that basically we're pumping nutrition back into the joints, and that also seems to help to, change the joint fluid, because within any synovial joint, again, we don't have a direct blood flow going in. There's something called diffusion through which the joints work and the discs, and anytime we do a pumping action, that improves the nutrition within the discs or within the joints of the spine. The reason why we look at about 20 to 24 visits of spinal decompression is because we want to spread that out over a time of about 6 weeks. It takes about 6 weeks of the cells being active, metabolically active, to actually start to heal up the disc, and it makes, for some reason, it's like a switch. Anytime, like if you were to cut yourself and your arm, you'd notice that it would improve a lot over the first 4 days. But then at about 6 weeks, the skin looks almost like basically back to healthy skin. I hurt my nose about 3 weeks ago. My skin looks pretty healthy, but I know that in another 3 weeks, it's going to look basically indistinguishable from the rest of my nose, hopefully. The reason why, if you go to the website for the Hill DT people, they'll say 8 weeks, is because they hedge their bets. They want to, to give themselves a couple extra weeks, and they found in the decade since I was first involved with spinal decompression, they've had a lot of experience, and they found that at 6 weeks, if people aren't better, they do like an intensive treatment for another 2 weeks to put them over the edge and return that health to the disc or to the joints of the spine. When I first had my spine decompressed, they were, the person who did it was in virgin territory. She had never I was like her second patient on the spinal decompression machine. And she gave me virtually no instructions when I got done, and they had no idea how long it would last. I think part of it is, what age are you when you start to develop symptoms? But, my spinal decompression was over a decade ago, and my back has stayed, thankfully, really good. You saw that I'm undergoing a little bit of decompression now to like try and maximize that health in my spine, because you know what, there is no time like the present to maximize your health. We're about optimization here. Normalize, optimize and thrive. So I want my back to be young and healthy as possible. So I want to pump some nutrition back in there. I want to see what happens after doing that when I go up to visit my friends who looked at my back and said, oh yeah, there's really some old changes here in your spine. I want to see if they can be surprised by the nutrition and health of my back again. The question is, what if it doesn't work? So what we've aimed for is about 6 weeks to finish the treatment, and if at the end of that 6 weeks we'll add on the 2 weeks. Now we may do it in 8 weeks. It's kind of up to you and your schedule. I try to aim to 6 weeks because I want my patients better as fast as possible. Most of the time that's all they need. This concept of doing an intense 2 weeks at the end for those who don't respond to treatment or don't respond as favorably as we would like is new to me. So I don't have much experience in being able to say how that's gonna work. I was always amazed to see people get better from the spinal decompression. And that's why we have it in the practice now, combined with the manipulation and the acupuncture and the different treatments that we offer here. And I do see patients respond over 80% of the time. So I'm very excited about having this as we open up Danto Osteopathic. I think our goal is to normalize, optimize, and thrive. If you've got nutrition going into your spine that hasn't been there in years, that can only end up as a positive, in my opinion. So we look forward to hopefully helping you thrive.